What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for episode number 66 of WWE Turner. It's happy! No, actually, it's not a happy Rusev Day because the Rusev Day tag team no longer exists after Aiden English turned heel tonight. After, of course, he had turned face. Well, then again, Rusev Day was 1 week they were face. Next week they were heel. Then they were face again. But then they were heel. They were face. They were heel. They were face. They were heel. And you never knew. And then finally, recently, personally, I thought, okay, Rusev Day is babyface gang because they've been feuding with Almas and Vega. So I'm like, okay, I think we're settled there with that. And then, of course, they got their tag title opportunity on the pre-show at Hell in a Cell this past Sunday in a pretty good match, but came up short. The story there being, of course, that, Aiden English seemed to be causing holding Rusev back in some ways and costing his matches. Then finally Aiden started, succeeding with Rusev in his matches. They got back on the same page. Then they got a tag team opportunity, but then, of course, Aiden English got a little overzealous and, thinking that, he has everything going for him, and what happens? It costs them the match. And then Aiden English tonight reveals that he feels that, that Rusev Day is nothing without him, and he just trashes on Lana and whatnot. Of course, Lana threatens to tell Rusev, but Rusev was too focused on his U.S. title match with Nakamura. English is being obnoxious during the match, causing some distractions to Rusev, which causes Rusev to lose the match afterwards. English attacks Rusev, officially turning on him, and sings Happy Rusev Day probably one last time. So Aiden English is a heel, and the Rusev Day tag team is officially over. Now, I know some people feel that this may have been a little too soon. They probably ruined Rusev Day. I know, this probably is going to send Aiden English down the tubes because he's probably going to be very relevant again. But in my opinion, Aiden English was never really supposed to be. I never expected anything much of Aiden English for being a single star. I felt like, when Simon Gotch got released, I thought, it won't be long until Aiden English gets released also. I just don't see much singles potential in him. Yeah, it could have been a little too soon. Would have been nice to have seen them win the tag title since they were getting over, but of course, the WWE was being too stubborn about putting over Rusev since they wanted to be heel for so long. They finally have more established more as a babyface, which is, what this turn did. As far as the Rusev Day gimmick goes, I feel that, the feud could just be the story of how, Rusev's trying to prove that he is a true creation of Rusev Day and not Aiden English. English teams. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be just like, a SmackDown Live feud. You're going to have maybe like 1 or 2 matches, and then the last match could be, the winner will be considered the true founder of Rusev Day or whatnot. And Rusev Day continues, and then Aiden English just goes or whatnot. So, my opinion though is, when they were going to split them up, I felt, they did split the right person. Because, obviously Rusev is so much more over than Aiden English. Now, if it was on Raw, they probably would turn Rusev heel on Aiden English, I feel, but it would not have worked. So, I'm alright with this. What are your thoughts on Rusev Day imploding? What are your thoughts on Aiden English being the one to turn? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, be sure to always click my like and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93. And as always, guys, please stay tuned for more WWE Turn Alert.